Kaizer Chiefs have just played a 0-0 draw with bottom of the league, Chippa United. And in this video, we're going to look at the players and their performances. We're going to look at the approach by the coaches and their decision making and what the future holds for them too, because it's not looking good. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs, Khosi Football Club. So, the match, when we start with the goalkeeper, Peterson did not really have much to do, so we just move right along. Monyane made his return today, and Solomons did not play a single minute in this game. Okay, Monyane is not a bad player, but Solomons is up here in terms of confidence. He's just scored in back-to-back CAF Confederations Cup matches, and it does not get a single minute. So when I say to you about the coaches that they don't reward hard work, they don't reward good performances, I'm talking about this. You know, you could have played Solomons if you are managing him. Start with him, play him until the 60th minute if you fear that he might pick up an injury. But you don't just drop a player who's currently in a run of form whereby he has scored 2 goals in back-to-back matches. What are you saying about confidence? What are you saying to the rest of the squad about, performing well and getting rewarded for doing that? You are telling them it's not good. It doesn't give them anything. Okay, fine. Solomons, we move from Monyane and Solomons thingy. Centre-back pairing, Miguel looked shaky again today. And I think it's time that they drop him, because whatever that he's dealing with, whatever that is in his head, based on whether the previous 2 games were, again, back-to-back mistakes that led to goals, maybe they should just drop him. Aiden McCarthy was there on the bench. Msimang was there on the bench, which, by the way, is just crazy. How do you have 2 centre-backs on the bench while there is Ushinga, who's not been given a moment? Because if you have Msimang or McCarthy on the bench, then there's no need to have both of them. You can just have Msimang. There's no need to have McCarthy. You can have McCarthy. There's no need to have Msimang. Because one, McCarthy can play as a left back, he can play as a centre back. But have one centre back on the bench. And then have a left back like Ushinga who can come on and change the game in the place of Marco. Or skip that. Just have a centre back, because you are playing against Chippa United. The worst that could happen is not for both centre backs to get injured. One could get injured and another right back could get injured. So that is why I'm saying centre back, right back, left back, or just centre back and the right back, because Munyane could get injured. Even the bench looks like we're scared of Chippa United. We go to midfield or left back. Marco had a decent game, fine, nothing much to say. But I do have one thing to say. Do subscribe to the channel. 8 out of every 10 people who watch the video are not subscribed, so do make sure to subscribe. Midfield, I will give the coaches credit for what they did in midfield. There was no Mtetwa. They dropped Umtutuzi because in the previous games Umtutuzi has not done that great, but at the same time Umtetwa in this game, if you played him, it would have been just a sign of saying, oh, we're scared of Chippa, we think they're going to attack us. So I will give them credit for not playing Umtetwa in this game. Mabue, Matlou, Ngobo, it was good. Ngobo especially, I will talk about Ngobo especially because as a 10, he played as a 10, but he was doing one thing that I've always I complained about, if you remember in the game against Zamalek. I was like, the movement of Mtutuzi is not good enough for me for a 10. You seem like, and to me it seemed like he was giving that instruction to be closer to the defenders because of his pace. But today, Ngobo was dropping much deeper to come and collect the ball, which is going to help us in combining. And since we are talking about the midfielders, we're also going to add Silva this time around. He had a glorious chance that he missed. I think he was already tired, which is why I always say Silva is better coming off the bench, because when he comes off the bench, defenders are already tired and then he can expose them. But when he's starting the game, there's a lot of running, there's a lot of moving, and the defenders are still matching everything that he's doing. But when he comes off second half, then he's coming in, his movements are confusing the defenders and he can score. But even in the chance that he missed, he was coming off, like behind the defender, and he didn't even see him, but he missed. But he was not dropping as much as Ighodaro, because you saw that the moment Ighodaro came on, he was dropping. He was dropping to collect, he was dropping to help in defense, which is why I keep on saying. That means our strikers are given two different types of information. One is told what you are supposed to do is just stay up front, and the other one is told get involved. And it's understandable to a point, because Ighodaro has much better ball control than Silva, but at the same time, Ighodaro is still a striker who still needs to be closer to the box, and you want him to be a target man, but you are asking him more to play like a false nine. So that's not it. Wingers, Velepai was taken off. He was having a good game. Don't know why you take him off, especially at that point before Mfundo Vilakazi, because at that time, I felt as though Mfundo Vilakazi was wasting a lot of balls, trying diagonals, making complicated passes when there were simpler passes that he could have played. But when it was time to take off someone, Velepai went out first. It especially does not make sense, because when they made that sub, they then played Umduduzi Shabalala as a left winger, and then they took Umayot and played him as a 10. My complaining about that ever so slightly, because now you are now playing Umduduzi out of position, and Umayo naye as an inverted forward, which is what Umfundo was doing, he can do that much better. He has done that much better. Even at Belouizdad, we saw him do that, like closer to being in the forward line, but he can go in there and finish. Mfundo plays a 10, keep Velepai as a left winger. But they don't do that, wrong subs again. And then after that, then they take off Silva. He was tired, Ighodaro comes on. And then Mabue went off for Ndlovu, which I also don't get why Mabue was taken off, because to me, the way that he was also crashing the box, he always looked like the more likely person to add to the box and give us something, but we did not get that. Khosi Ngcobo is not allowed to finish games. Doesn't matter how good he's playing, he will never finish a game. And I do not understand why a player who gives you so much, who offers you an attacking threat, who also takes shots outside the box. There was that save that he forced from the goalkeeper. He's one player in the team who was taking responsibility to even take shots. His one player was dropping and helping collect the ball. You take him off. You could have dropped him and made him a 6, an 8. But they decided to take him off. That to me signals that Khosi Ngcobo is not trusted by the coaches, because it's almost like his substitution is always rehearsed. He goes into every game, he knows that it's going to be taken off. Again, I will go back to the same question that I asked about Solomons. What does that do for the player's confidence, knowing that it does not matter how well I perform in this game, they will take me off? One player that I want to also talk about, Mabue was brilliant. Matlo was also very good. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. He was very good. Matlo had a very, very good game. And I think that is why he was given a contract extension, because he's physical, he's tall. And since Chiefs doesn't like to pay, and there's Yaya that was linked with the Chiefs to come and be a 6, I think slowly but surely we'll see George Matlo being converted to be a player more like Tebogo Mokoena. I'm not saying he's at that level, but I'm saying the physique, is allowing him to be that strong man, that 6, that can play for Chiefs. Because today he was a mixture of an 8, but at times he allowed Mabue to go forward and then stay deep. So that means he can be a 6. They can convert him into that. But another thing I want to talk about with regards to the coaches is the fact that they are clueless, because what they are not doing well is they're asking Mfundo to invert way too early. So Mfundo starts centrally like another 10. But if Mfundo is starting centrally, when he gets the ball, there's already people around him. It doesn't give him space to drive at people and try to dribble them, because you are already in a congested area. So when you receive the ball in that congested area, what's going to happen? You are going to be pressured and you are going to lose the ball. Or you are going to try and complicate things and try to do things that are not easy to execute. And that is why it will be horrible in a game. And also, Umonyane with Umfundo, the reason why they were not clicking, you're asking Umonyane to overlap. He's not that great at overlapping. Mfundo should start wide. Monyane could make runs into the half space. That's what was happening beginning of the season. That's why Monyane was so brilliant. In this game, Monyane did not look that great. Like there was nothing like those long besting runs centrally where Ulilep would get the ball while he's on the line and then do this, take a defender on, defender stretches, it comes out wide, then the ball is played to the half space. Monyane takes the ball, he runs with it forward, and then he makes things happen. Even with Solomons, there's usually an interchange. But here there wasn't like that healthy rotation of, okay, this time you will be central in Mfundo, but this time you will be wide. It was mostly, Mfundo wena, you are central, which kind of killed the vibe. So I think that there's a long way to go with these coaches, and I don't think they are not good enough. That's it. They are not good enough to coach Chiefs at all. That's it. That's the YouTube. That's the title. They are not good enough. That's it. They should go. We have the AFCON break. Bring in a new coach. There is no Chiefs player who's in the Bafana squad or any international team. So that means this December and part of January, all the players of Chiefs will be available. So if you get a good coach now, he will be with the team for the entire AFCON, which is like another preseason for the Chiefs. But if you hold on to these coaches, they are trying to not lose before they try to win the game. And that's not a good approach for a team that has ambitions to not just play well, but to dominate. They have to go. But what do you guys think? Do let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals and pelumoy.